I want to give you your flowers real quick. When you first got there, you challenged me. But you told me, you stepped to me, you told me, like, yo, I'm going to challenge you in a healthy way. I'm going to challenge you. And for somebody that was younger than me, and, you got the freshman, senior, the freshman, out of, just graduated. I ain't got to listen to the freshman. For somebody to challenge me and me listen, like, pep up and like, all right, yeah, like, it created a different level of respect from me to you always. You know what I'm saying? And to see you grow into the man you become through all the maturing you had to do, even me, like all our maturing, all the things we've been through, the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing to watch. It's an amazing thing to see the industries you tapping into. And it's an amazing thing to see how you're able to not only affect your peoples, but affect the community that you probably don't know you're touching right now. You know what I'm saying? A young, strong black man showing that they could be a stand-up gentleman to whomever, to accept different cultures and things like that. You one of them ones, bro. And I just want to let you know that. You know what I'm saying? And like I always told you.
Self-balancing.
I'm about to talk.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it. We back. We got my man here, Staten Island's finest, Staten Island, New York in the building, the beast. He dynamic, passionate, gritty, player of the year, all conference, professional hooper, G League, overseas, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Finland, Poland. I think he was just in Dubai. Dude's all over the place, man. Pitbull mentality. The lessons that this dude has taught me has always stuck with me, man. I'm excited to introduce to you guys my brother, my man Zay. Zay, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time.
My brother. I'm here. I appreciate you, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
We cut from the same cloth. You know what I mean?
You already know, man.
Iron. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling blessed. You know what I mean? I'm blessed to be in the position I'm in right now.
Yep.
And I'm just, I'm blessed to see brothers like you continue to prosper, continue to grow, and know I was once a part of that story. You know what I'm saying? Like I was once right next to you, which doesn't change. But as you grow, we end up physically in different places in the world. But I feel amazing, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel amazing.
I love it, man. I'll tell you guys a short story about Zay. So the college that we went to, we both went to NJIT. And whenever you go to, play college sports, college basketball, there's, obviously a system, there's an offense, what have you. But in a lot of ways, one of the many reasons why I look up to Zay is, I was recruited to fill his shoes, right? So he was leaving out when I was coming in. And a lot of what the coaches showed me was his dominance, his ability to dominate everything that he does academically. In the off season, I've never seen anyone work harder than Zay. I've never seen anyone more committed, more focused, more driven. And one thing I can say about Zay, man, it just never ended. Like like his drive, and I'm sure it'll come out in this conversation today. His drive, his passion, who he is, the lessons that he's learned, who he's created himself to be. He's created himself to be who he is, man. And I'm really excited for you guys to hear his story, man. So Zay, a question for you, man. I got a glimpse of who you are and how you got to where you are. But what does the word unconventional mean to you? Because I feel like you've taken an unconventional route, but you still, no matter what life threats you, you've always figured out a way of getting things done. What's unconventional mean to you?
It means nothing, really, because who determines what's conventional? Who determines what's unconventional? You know what I mean? Like the route I had to take in terms of like getting to NJIT or getting to the D League or getting overseas. It's like I'm sure my route could seem conventional to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So the word unconventional to me, at least, means it's just like meaningless almost because. At the end of the day, everybody goes through their things, right? Everybody goes through their pain. Everybody goes through whatever they go through. And it's up to us to accept the present, but understand that we could change it, right? So if I know I can change whatever I'm going through, I know my plan is in my hands as long as God's giving me the strength to follow it. So that was always what I was taught ever since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm, my story is my story. I don't think it was conventional. I don't think it was unconventional. I don't think it was any more painful or non-painful compared to the next. I just think it was my story, and I'm continuing to write that story. You know what I mean?
I love that. No, I love that, man, because I think a lot of times when we talk about our story, we talk about the journey, or even we talk about getting knocked down, like when you get knocked down or if you get hurt or if you feel something that feels off balance, like all you know is this pain. All you know is that like you feel it and something's just off. I can't really quantify my pain versus your pain or say that my journey was tougher than your journey or your journey was better. Like I think so many times, especially growing up, people always try to act like the grass is greener, or we saw it when we was in college, right? They would say, hey, this school has X, or we get off the bus, we get off the plane, whatever, and you see their gym and you're like, oh, we like to have this gym, so it must be like this over here. It doesn't matter. Like, and you've been a definition of it doesn't matter. Let's just figure it out. So talk to me about the pit bull mentality. You always been like, man, like I'm a pit. What's that mean?
Well, I'm from Staten Island, New York. I'm saying from New York City. Like I'm from the borough where nobody cares about. So it's like, as a kid coming up, I didn't play on Staten Island like that. I played I started playing basketball when I was like 5 years old. I could say, from my memory. I'm playing on Staten Island, playing with the Staten Island AAU team. I was playing with Staten Island Lightning. Play with them, play with my friends or whatever. I get to about 5th, 6th grade. Let's go 4th grade. Me and my cousins and some of the, some basketball players from Staten Island, we started playing in the Stephon Marbury tournament at Coney Island. That started I don't play on Staten Island like that anymore. Like, that started that. So playing in Coney Island. Then I started playing in Brooklyn, playing for Brooklyn Bridge. Had a great team, me, Lance Stevenson, Sylvan Landsberg, Blaze French, Vincent Council, all bunch of top-level players at the time, even to this day, top-level players. So we're playing, and I'm the only person from Staten Island. Mind you, it's like I'm the only person from Staten Island, but I got to hold my own. So the first thing they attack is the fact that you're not from here. So they come at you. The crowd is saying, "Yo, you make another bucket, it's up for you after this. It's up for you. I don't care what. You make another bucket, it's up for you." Yeah. I come from five brothers, one sister. My sister's the oldest.
Yep.
I'm getting beat up every day anyway. Like I'm going at it with my brothers anyway. I'm not scared of that. So it's like in my head, I'm like, I just gotta last 20 minutes from running. Or if I gotta run, if I gotta do whatever, I gotta last 20 minutes. If I don't defend myself, I gotta fight my brothers for the next 18 years.
Right.
I'm definitely shooting this next shot. And now I'm definitely gonna say something to you. So, and the thing, I gotta thank my father for that too, because he kind of put that pit bull mentality in me, because he told me, like, yo, Zay, we don't run from nothing. Yeah. Like, we stand on what we say. We got 10 toes down on what we say. You know what I mean? And I'm a firm believer in that. If you say something, you stand on it. And we don't, and if you go somewhere, you the same person everywhere. And I always stood on that. I don't care where we was. You know what I'm saying? We could be in California, in Compton. We could be in the middle of Bed-Stuy, in Brooklyn. I'm going to be Isaiah Wilkerson. I don't know who else to be. Yep. That's going to be passionate. That's going to be a good teammate. That's going to be a good person. But that's also going to be a respectful young black man. But at the same time, I'm not going to be no pushover. So, you know what I mean? So that started that. And then what really gave me the pit bull mentality is putting myself in situations where I had no choice. At NJIT, we had no choice. We lose in every game. Yeah. And it's like, at some point, when your back's against the wall, you're going to fight. You got to fight because you're fighting for your life. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't believe, my personal opinion, I didn't believe in, I'm just coming here to make a name for myself because I scored a lot of points. I wanted to win. Right. Because winning lasts forever. them points don't last forever. Somebody gonna break them. They can't take them wins from you. You know what I mean? So I was on that. Like, yo, you know, if I'm in this situation, I gotta be the best ever. Yeah. I gotta, like, people gotta remember me forever. Like, if I walk back in this building when I got grandkids, they gotta know, like, nah, he was a dog. Like, even out.
And that's the first thing everybody gonna say. Like, anybody, like, your reputation precedes you, right? So it's like whatever. And this is one thing that I try to live by in my everyday life. It's just like, my name's Nigel Sydnor. When they say Nigel Sydnor, what do they say after that? You know what I'm saying? Right. And I think that in the case of you, it's a unanimous decision. Everybody's gonna say you're a dog. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to say that Zay was given X, right? They're going to say Zay went and he went to go work for it. And I can say that from the moment I met you, you was working. The next summer you came back from playing, you was working, probably even working even harder, but it was never enough for you. You always would find a way to push yourself mentally. When you're pushing yourself mentally, like, how do you describe your why? Like, I know you said you grew up with, you know, kids, not kids, but brothers and sisters, and that pushed you, right? Being a young one. But what was your why? Like, what invigorates you every day?
There's a bunch of whys, bro. My first why is, well, obviously your family. You know what I'm saying? You see your brothers come up, and then you're like, yo, I want to be better than them. So that's like the first instant, like, whatever. Yeah. Then you start playing and people are saying what you can't do. Mm-hmm. So my brother used to come in the house. He used to be like, yo, I used to be like 10 years old. He come in the house. My brother's like, yo, let's go uptown. Let's go shopping. I'm like, nah, chill. I don't want to be mad early by 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yo, I ain't trying to go uptown. He be like, all right, how about this? You give me 100 push-ups. Any push-up you do over 100, I give you $100. I'll push it. So in my head, I'm like, yo, if I get to 105, that's 500. Plus we go shopping. So I got 500 plus we going shopping. So my brother would, so I'll sit there and try to knock out the 100. Never get to it. So that built something in me. So now I'm like, all right, I got to prove him wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just the pains of life. People telling me no. I'll give you another example. You know, fast forward to my pro career. I'm in Mexico, and they cut me day before the playoffs. This is right before the pandemic. Cut me. I didn't know what happened. It was the team I played with. The coach, you know, wanted to go so another route. And mind you, me and the coach knew each other because I played with him a bunch of times. Won a championship with him, but he cut me. So I come home during the pandemic, and I'm in the house, depressed, bad, don't want to talk to nobody. Yeah, and it's the pandemic, so everything's shut down. So I ain't got nothing. All of a sudden, I get a call from one of my closest friends, my man Mark. He called me. He's like, "Yo, I'm starting a training company. I want you to be my first client." He said, "Matter of fact, you are my first client, and I'm coming to get you out the house." I'm like, bro. If it ain't got nothing to do with overseas getting money, I ain't trying to do it. And he was just like, bro, you got to stay ready. So I was like, all right, bro. So he gets me out the house, and we just started working. And then he told me, he said, yo, they ain't feel the pain you went through. They ain't feeling the pain you went through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then another part of my why is not only pain, but like, you know, people just doubting me. Right. I hate to be doubted. Yep. That's the worst thing you could do is doubt me. Tell me I can't do something. Because when you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it. I don't care what you say.
So growing up in New York, you hate to be doubted. You got this mentality. You know what you can do. Let's talk about being recruited. So I know you just talked about, you know, you played at NJIT, but what was that route like transitioning from high school over to college?
It was tough. It was tough because I was going to go to Fordham at first. So I'm getting recruited by Fordham. At first, the coach didn't want me. He said he already gave out all the scholarships to all the kids that went to St. Anthony's. So he had recruited like 3 of them from over there. I'm at Curtis High School. He comes to one of my games. I go to dunk on a 6'9" kid. From then on, I go to dunk on, I miss, I get fouled. Then I go to the line and make 2. Next play, I run, I dive on the floor. Somebody dives on my ankle. I twist my ankle up. I jump up and I start limping off the court. But I'm limping off the court because I know the coach had ran onto the court, so I had to come out the game. So I just limped off the court real quick, had them tie it up, and I said, "Yo, I'm good." And I walked right back to the scorer's table. From then on, he wanted me to go to Fordham.
Yeah.
I ended up going to prep school so I could go to Fordham. Prep school don't work out. NJIT calls me and they're like, "Yo, we still want you. So if you're trying to come, you come right now, but you got to play right away." So I didn't get a preseason. I didn't get a summer workout, nothing.
Right.
I came from playing prep school, high school basketball, straight into college. My first game was at
when did you end up at
University.
NJIT? Was that December?
December 17th. I will never forget December 17th. Crazy.
You took off a prep school jersey, and then within a couple of weeks, you're now playing Division I basketball.
I was at prep school.
Yeah.
They tell me I could come to NJIT. They gave me 2 weeks. Within those 2 weeks, I go back to my old high school, and I'm working out. Who is now the varsity head coach at my old high school? He was the JV head coach, and he's working me out every day for 2 weeks straight.
So what's that like? So now it's December 17th. You're playing Ryder in your first game. What's that transition like? You don't know the offense. You don't know the players. Basketball is basketball to you, but it's still that's a vulnerable environment.
Shooting, putting it up. Ain't no plays at that point. I'm putting it up. Like what are we talking about? He's telling me to run fist. I'm like, yeah, fist. Yeah, all right. Watch this shot. Fist this shot. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Putting it up, bro. What are we talking about? I looked at him like, what? I'm putting it up. But I realized, I said, oh, shit, I can play at this level. Because I'm strong enough. I'm not letting him take the ball from me. Yep. You know, I'm getting to my shot. I might take a 3 here, there, but I'm like, yo, I can hoop at this level.
Yeah.
Then next game, we go to Rutgers, and I'm like, it's Big East, Mike Rosario over there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm a freshman. He a freshman. Yep. Obviously, he got a better team than we do. So it's like, I got to do something. I got to show something that I got some promise.
Yeah,
I go out there and get 12 points on a Big East team, my second game of my career. I'm like, oh, it's lit.
It's like this out here, right?
And then I'm playing the 1. So I'm like, But then now moving on, by the second year, I'm at the 4.
Yep.
So now that's when shit get different. That's when it got a little different. It got a little different. So
that's crazy though, because it's just like, all right, you see what I'm doing at the 1. Why are we changing anything?
Right.
Why are we changing anything? But that's college, right? Like,
right.
Whatever.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I was like, why are we changing it? Because now he's recruiting PJ and them. PJ, Chris.
Right. Yep.
So I'm looking at them like, wait, so who's going to play the 2 and the 3?
Right. I'm the 1. We know getting the ball. You see what
I'm the
do.
1. Right.
Yeah.
But then so that was the time when Villanova was playing 4 guards.
Yep.
Kyle Lowry was at the 4.
Yeah.
But Kyle Lowry was going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So
he was running plays for him at the 4.
Running plays for him at the 4.
And they was running the 4-guard offense.
Yes. So he's looking at me like, yo, you're a tank.
Yeah.
You're running through shit.
Yep.
Yo, you're about to play the 4, bro. Like, go to the 4. So I was very rebellious at first going to the 4.
Of course. Yeah.
Very rebellious. But then the thing about it, I realized that, once again, people didn't believe I could play the 4.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go average, try to average double-figure rebounds.
Yep.
The person guarding me is a 4. He can't guard me. Like,
he can't guard you.
Yeah, he cannot guard
me. Because ones couldn't guard you.
Right. So at one point, it's like he can't stay in front of me. So it's like I got to attack him downhill. And then I started looking at, and that comes back into, with any situation and why things shouldn't be looked at unconventional or conventional. Sometimes you got to look at the positive in this and not just pay attention to the negative. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just got to attack your situation, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Got to attack it. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. There's no such thing as like, yo, let me go easy. Nah, attack that shit. What we waiting for? You know what I'm saying? So
staying in attack mode, right? you accept that challenge. You're like, all right, whatever. Like whatever coach say, that's what we're doing. Let's just roll the ball out. Once I get on the court, I know what I can do. It's going to work out. So now let's transition. Go through NJIT, scored over 1,500 points in your career, over 600 rebounds. Like you said, I'm cool. This is what we're doing. Double digit both ways. That's what we're doing. No problem. Now, when you graduate, how do you know, do I go get a job or do I go play at the next level?
So, quiet as kept, I was done with basketball at the NJIT. I was done. I worked too hard.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like I didn't feel like working out.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, my brother promised me that if I graduate, I could do whatever I want and he'll support it. So like if my parents decided at the time to kick me out of their house, I could go live with him. And my sister said the same thing. I could do whatever
you got
I
a safety net. Yeah, you got a safety net.
I got a safety
good
net. For 2 years, I could do whatever I want.
Yeah.
That don't mean they're going to necessarily financially take care of me, but they're going to at least make sure I'm not on the street.
Yep.
And that's some odds I could deal with, right?
Every time.
So I took about 3 weeks off. I ain't do nothing. When I tell you nothing, I ain't do nothing, bro. Nothing. And then Coach Ingles had got me connect to play. Remember, there used to be a league by the shore.
Jersey Shore League.
Yeah, Jersey Shore League.
Pro-Am.
He got me
The
Pro-Am. He got me on the team out there. And I'm out there hooping, making some shots. I go down the lane and dunk on everybody.
Yeah.
I just go down the lane and just dunk the shot. So then that's when like a guy from overseas guy, he tells me, he's like, yo, bro, what you doing next year? I was like, I don't know. I'm just hooping. Be honest. Yeah, I'm just hooping. And then he was like, yo, I'm gonna be in touch. He hit me. Another agent started hitting me. Like people just started hitting me. And then I was just like, yo, let me at least check this out, take advantage and see where it goes. If I get a regular job, I get a regular job. If I'm able
it's
to
there. It's gonna be there. I went to a good college. It's gonna be there.
Right. So then I ended up going to meet this agent in the city. So I'm thinking it was Intra Performances. I'll never forget the name. I'm thinking that like one of the top agencies in Europe. I'm like, about to be lit.
Yeah.
So I go meet him, and he's like, yo, he couldn't give me a job at first, but then he sent my tape to the D League, and I got selected to at least be drafted. I get selected by I'm the last pick in the whole draft. So there's like, at the time, say there's 90 picks, I'm the 90th pick. So I get drafted.
Yep.
Oh, Tulsa calls me and tells me, listen, you probably won't make this team. Well, you probably won't. Like, we have to bring you in. Hopefully it works out in your favor, but to be honest, you probably won't make the team. So you come in and do the best you can to go home. So I'm like, all right, like that's the
y'all picked me. I didn't pick y'all. Whatever. Let's figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
If that's the odds you give me. That's the odds you give me. Let's go figure it out. And the rest was history. When we're in there and just hoop. Rest was history from there. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, bro, I didn't want to play basketball right after school. Like I wasn't like excited because you also understand I'm a senior. All the parties I missed.
Right.
I was working out. I wasn't going to parties. You know what I'm saying? Even in the off season, I wasn't going to parties. I was working out. So now I'm thinking in my head, yo, it's time to enjoy like
life.
All the work I put in. I enjoy life. I gotta figure it. Like I gotta at least, go to a party here, there. You know what I'm saying? So
and see what it's like.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where, I didn't want to play at first, but God kind of ordered my steps in everything I did.
So you going into Tulsa is not much different than you going into NJIT, right? Came out of nowhere. Look, I'm here. You guys telling me what I can and can't do. Y'all trying to put me in a hostile situation. I'm going to show you what I can do. What was your mentality when you got to Tulsa? They told you can't do it.
Oh, I got nothing to lose. Yo, I don't make it. I'm not supposed to be there. I'm not supposed to be there already. So if I don't make it, that was expected. If I do make it, I'm nice.
Right.
So it's like,
I'm a step away from the league. I'm on the doorstep of the league.
Right. I'm good enough. Like, so it's like, I got nothing to lose. Why am I nervous? Why am I uptight? Now, the kid that goes to Kansas or went to North Carolina or whatever, he got a lot to lose. He don't make this
a lot
team.
of pressure.
It's like, why didn't you make the team? You went to Kansas.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, yo, I'm pulling up. I ain't got nothing to lose. I got everything to gain, nothing to lose. And I'm from Staten Island, New York. I carry that on my shoulder everywhere. Yeah, I carry that on my shoulder everywhere. Even now.
So what shocked you? What shocked you about that experience? You get to Tulsa. What shocked you the most about that experience?
The most shocking thing was it might have been, to be honest, it might have been the fact that there's not much difference between where I went to school and how I played to the top level guys. Mm-hmm. The difference is really the work in between that.
Right.
And it doesn't really matter where you start at, it's where you finish. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, my freshman year, I wasn't nowhere near a player that could play at Kansas or a player that could play in the Big 12. But you put in all this work, by the time you hit your senior year, you might be that player. You might be that player that could play in the Big East. You might be that player that could play with the top level athletes in the world. You never know. So I realized that, like, yo, putting in work, that is the difference. Mm-hmm. That is where you win and lose, like, period. There's no, like, nothing more, nothing less. It's the work you put in. And that was the epitome of that.
So what message are you telling the kids today, right? So having your experiences, working with a lot of young kids that have a lot of the same dreams that you have, what type of lessons are you sharing with them based off the experiences that you've been through?
Pretty much telling them, yo, put your head down and just work. If you want something, you're gonna do everything you can to protect it. So if you want to go, if you want to play basketball, you're gonna go to class, you're gonna go to school, you're gonna be respectful, you're gonna listen to the coach, you're gonna listen to your teachers, you're gonna listen to your parents, because all that contributes to you playing basketball. Mm-hmm. If you're a kid that really doesn't want to play, you're gonna do everything you can not to protect your dream or whatever. Whenever you have a dream, you protect it, no matter what. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You don't care about how you look. You don't care about, if it doesn't add to your dream, you don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? You only care about the people that support you. You don't care about the haters that are hating on you. You just care about taking care of those that are next to you, and that's it. So my advice to that kid who will watch this is like, yo, whatever you're doing, protect your dream, but protect your dream through your actions. Just don't keep saying, yo, I'm protecting my dream. You got to put action behind your words. If you don't put action behind your words, then it's just you. If you don't put action behind your words, it's just a dream. It ain't a goal no more. When you dream and you put action behind it, it becomes a goal. Like, I believe that you could be the best podcast host in the world. But if you don't put action behind it, that's just a dream that me and you have. Yeah. But if you actually study your podcast, look at, whether is your guest engaged? Is Zay moving too much in his chair? Is he not engaged with you? Is he answering the questions the way you need him to answer the question? Are you asking the right questions? If you're not putting in that work, it's not. It's just a dream. It's not a goal. You know what I'm saying? Like you that should be your goal. That's why I use the word dream very lightly when it comes to things I already want to do. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I want to affect my community. So in my head, it was a dream for me to have my own day where we had families and kids out there playing basketball. Until last year, it became a goal because I started putting action behind it. Yeah. And then I finally had my own day in my neighborhood where it becomes an annual thing. And we're preparing for the second annual this year. But it becomes a goal. So if a kid is dreaming, put action behind it and make it a goal. Don't dream. Make it a goal so you could go get it.
So what is Zay Day? Like you said, I know you wanted to have your name. I know you wanted to have your community. I know you wanted to bring people together. What's Zay Day? What is that?
So Zay Day came. So last year it was dedicated to a friend of mine, Cesar Sanchez. He got killed my first year in Mexico. So I was 3 years into my career, and he ended up getting shot in my neighborhood. And he actually got shot by the same 10 years prior to that. That same person that shot Caesar shot another friend of mine and killed him. So he went to jail, came home, and got into it with Caesar and shot somebody else. So he ended up, Caesar passed. So, but Caesar was a big basketball fan, huge. I was his favorite player. So we used to have a tournament out there, and he used to always say, Zay's the best, Zay's this, Zay's that. And he wouldn't care who was on that court. He was riding with me. He didn't care. He didn't want to hear it, none of that. He's riding with Isaiah Wilkerson. He don't care.
Yeah.
So he was like, and me and him started getting close right before he passed. Like we used to chill, hang out with each other, link up with each other. You know what I'm saying? So that became like my little man. So as I went through my career, I always wanted to have a day. Like just have a basketball tournament, had kids out there, free, block party, all that. Just have a celebration where kids to come together, be together, but through basketball. Because that's something that brought me a lot of my friendships. You know what I'm saying? Like me and you, our friendship came through basketball.
For
sure. You know what I'm saying? Without basketball, we probably wouldn't know each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But thank God, through the grace of God, we do. So we so going through my career, I don't have time to do it, like at all.
Yeah.
Thank God, last year, this past summer, I'm playing 3-on-3, but I actually have time to set something up. And I start realizing, like, wait, hold up. I'm sitting here. I got the means and the people that will actually help me. Yo, let's put together a day. So I ended up starting, and I finally put together a day, and it came out to be Zay Day. And then it started to become, Zay Day is going to become a staple in my community where at least one day in the summer you could look forward to Zay Day. Like that's one day you could look forward to. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire. And so when you put together Zay Day and just thinking about the community that you grew up in and experiences that you've been through, do you feel like you have a responsibility to your community to do what you're doing?
100%. My community, at least, so Staten Island is a very small place, and it could be very separate at the same time. So like pretty much everybody knows each other, but it's still neighborhood oriented.
Yep.
In my neighborhood, everybody looked out for everybody. When a good friend of mine, one of my closest friends too, his mother, Mama Joyce, used to look out for everybody. Literally everybody. Before she passed away, used to look out for everybody. God rest her soul. She was the neighborhood mother.
Yeah.
One of my other best friends, and all these people I call them friends for the podcast purposes. This is my family. These are people that's like my family. There's no blood can make us no closer. But my other close friend, his mother, Mama Wanda, she looks out for us now. She gets on me every time when I don't, if I don't come around. Like she gets on me every time I see her. When you coming around, you need to come see me. I know you ain't gonna come see. But thank God she understands I'm busy. But that just comes from that neighborhood. And mind you, the Mama Wanda doesn't live in that neighborhood no more. A lot of us moved out of the neighborhood, but we all come back because
we all come back and get
our neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we try to, I do feel it's a duty of mine, and I do owe my community that for sure.
So what's next for you?
Right now, I'm playing 3-on-3. Right now, I'm ranked 4th in the country. I'm ranked 35th in the world. My goal, and I will obtain this goal because, I pray for it every day. We put in the work in. I want to make the Olympic team and be in the Olympics for 2024 for 3-on-3. So right now, just focused on that. Still working out. I coach varsity basketball at Abraham Lincoln High School. Trying to help these kids here get better. I also I'm a substitute teacher. I'm back in school, getting my trying to get my master's, and just every day just working towards that. I'm starting my nonprofit organization called Step Forward 20 Incorporated. Just trying to do anything I can to help people, bro. And even to your point, you said a perfect thing. You said our entire lives are around affecting people, like how we hoop and how we're the center of attention or how we make people feel through us hooping. And that's what I think a lot of people that are athletes, that's what I think they get into, helping people. Because you want to start affecting people and you realize that it's bigger than basketball. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's another thing I want to tell a kid. Yo, it's bigger than basketball. You ain't got to, like, basketball is a vehicle. Basketball becomes life when you have the choice to make it life. And that's a privilege. You know what I'm saying? And I need these kids to hear me on this. Basketball is a vehicle to get you to your next stop. And if you could use it to get you to your next stop, you keep using it. So basketball for us, we used it from high school. We used it from junior high to get to high school.
Yep.
And we used it in high school to get to college. So we didn't have to pay for college. We had no debt coming out of college.
None.
Any
Zero.
debt you created.
Yeah.
You made those decisions. It wasn't no debt coming from college. And then, I decided like, yo, I want to hoop, so I'm gonna try to hoop. And that's when basketball became life.
Yep.
Because I made that choice. It was a choice. And that's the thing. These kids gotta understand, you gotta make basketball a choice. Because when you're done playing and the ball stops bouncing, you're gonna go through a lot. Because that's all basketball had. And that's what I'm saying. That's why mental health is a big thing too, bro. I'm very big on mental health. And that's one of the components of my nonprofit is really having mental health within the sports community. Because when the ball stopped bouncing, I'm sure when the ball stopped bouncing for you, you went through an identity crisis. For sure. But it was something that you had to really search yourself like, yo, who am I? Like, am I really?
Well, think about it. Yeah, I think when you really think about it, and that was part of why I was really excited about moving to California, right? So just to kind of just pause for a second, I'm thinking about the amount of people in my life that cared about me because of what I could do with a ball, right? So when you talk about going from junior high over to high school, I was recruited to my high school. Why? Because I could play ball. It was a good academic high school. That's great. Chances are I probably would not have gotten into that high school if I didn't play ball. All right. Then you look at from going to high school, I went over to a prep school. So I was able to move from Baltimore over to Connecticut. Well, I had never really even been to Connecticut. The only way I was able to go to Connecticut and someone even got visibility that I existed or that I lived was because of a ball. Going to a prep school, college coaches coming out to recruit, they talking to you. Probably the reason why you and I both studied so hard was to be academically eligible to be able to, one, play ball in college, but you had to be able to pass a certain score in your SAT. You had to have a certain GPA. You couldn't be a trouble kid, right? There were certain boxes that you needed to check in order to get to that next level. So being able to get to NJIT, being able to play basketball, being able to make these relationships, being able to have people care about us that would have never even known anything about us, known that we existed. A lot of people say that, through watching somebody play sports, you can identify with their character, being able for people to be able to give us the benefit of a doubt that sometimes we don't really get, but we got that because of what we could do with a ball. It opened up so many doors for us to have conversations like this. And that's a great opportunity for anyone, regardless of your sport or regardless of your skill or regardless of your trade. You can make yourself valuable that people across the world will, one, want to meet you. They will want to hear from you. They will want to work with you. They will want to be a part of your journey. They will want to be a part of your success. And I don't think we should miss that opportunity. I think that a platform like this was built specifically for guys like Zay that are phenomenal, guys that are successful, guys that are high character like Zay that can tell his story and tell you that, man, like as life goes on, as we go through our journey, there is no conventional route. That person that's telling you they did this and they got that, well, there's always more to the story. So what we really want to do is we want to peel back the layers. We want to tell you about some of the different times where things weren't perfect, when I wanted to stop playing ball, when you had to make a decision of saying like, hey, am I going to keep going or not? Sometimes you're going to get hurt. Sometimes, like you was talking about, Zay, like you was recruited to Fordham, you were going to Fordham. That was your plan. But then when that pivot happens, when God really intervenes and says, no, this is the route that I have you on. This is actually the GPS, not the GPS that you made for yourself. It's important to be able to sit down and listen and have people that you care about and that care about you that can course correct you and get you on your path to success.
No, you definitely, that's a fact, bro, because, and that's another thing. You mentioned getting hurt. That's what a lot of these kids don't understand. yo, you go overseas, you're by yourself.
Yeah.
You go overseas, it's a different language, different culture. They don't have to adapt to you. You got to adapt to them. Why am I adapting to you? Like, if you come into my house, I'm not adapting to you. This is my thing. You better get with it or get lost.
That's true.
And that doesn't make sense. So a lot of these kids gotta understand. People wish for things that they don't understand what they're wishing for. They don't understand what they're really getting involved with. Like even me, like I always thought I couldn't handle going overseas at first.
Yeah.
It was too far away from I was like, I ain't trying to do that. The first time I went to Oklahoma, I cried.
Yeah.
I never been away from home.
Yeah.
I was in tears.
Man, that's far.
I was in tears. I was crying in tears. At the time, me and my girl was crying. My brother was crying. We was all crying. I never been away from home until I started going away, and it got easier. But these people understand that life is going to test you when you want something. If I want to be one of the best 3-on-3 players in the world, life is going to test me. It's going to put things in front of me that I'm going to have to sacrifice to be the best 3-on-3 player in the world. And if I really want that, I got to sacrifice whatever's put in front of me. And that's what these kids don't understand. There's certain sacrifices you're going to have to do that won't feel like you should do it, that you won't see why you're doing it. You just got to trust the process. And that's where a lot of these kids, they falter at, because they'll want to go overseas, but they don't realize that, you want to go overseas, so that means that you got to sacrifice certain relationships. Yeah. You got to sacrifice missing certain dates. You got to sacrifice acting a certain way when you're home. You got to sacrifice certain like sleeping habits that you might have. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things.
Family, just calling your family. You're on a different time zone. When do I talk to my family? My family's working. When my waking hours are, my family's sleeping or working.
Right.
When do I talk to them?
And the only time you talk to them is through, like, you send them a text and hopefully they get it in 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully they answer in 2 hours. And that's where, that's where the mental health capacity comes into play as well for an overseas basketball player. But a lot of people, man, I encourage people to speak, like even athletes, when they're done playing, like really done playing. I've been fortunate enough to find 3-on-3. I haven't been able to go back overseas for whatever reason, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I was fortunate enough to find 3-on-3 where I'm able to play it, and if it's a professional setting. I'm still in my professional mode. Yep. But when basketball completely stops, I always encourage athletes to talk to somebody. Yeah. Figure out who you are for real without the sport. Because I don't know who I am without basketball. I can sit here wholeheartedly on your platform say that. I don't know who I am without basketball. I do know that I can use basketball to help these kids, so that I use that. I do know I can use basketball to help me affect the community, so I use that. And maybe basketball is so ingrained in me, I'm never going to be without basketball. I'm always going to have some form of basketball around me. But for the people that they go from the sport into a totally different industry, bro, they go through a whole identity crisis. And
for sure,
it's not. I'm not gonna say it's not frowned upon, but it's definitely brushed under the rug about athletes and their mental health in the capacity of transitioning to different sectors or different industries. And that's something that we, it's a bigger problem than we let on to be. Honestly.
Well, for sure. I mean, because a lot of times when you talk about sports, and of course we're using basketball as an example because that's the sport we play. But at the end of the day, that's what you've done. That's all. Like, end of the day, that's what you have the most confidence in. You might have read a book or you might have done well academically, but at the end of the day, you've gotten the most relationships, gratitude, compliments based off of what you've done. I don't care if you were number 12 on a bench. When somebody talk about you and because most basketball players are above average height, you 6'5", you identify as an athlete. You identify as a basketball player. Like that's who you are. Everybody's like, and like, imagine like just being 6'5" after playing. The first thing everybody's gonna say to you, man, did you play sports?
First thing.
So it's like, how do you and maybe it's not a one time, meet with a person for that mental trauma. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're dealing with that the rest of your life. I don't know what you're supposed to do, but you got to talk to somebody.
You got to talk. You got to have a conversation. And in our community, in the urban community, black community, the hood, whatever you want to call it, we like, it's not that it's kind of frowned upon. You go talk to somebody, people are like kind of like,
you weak.
You should go talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
If you're talking to somebody, it's because you're weak or because you're hurt. That's unfortunately that's the way that it's looked at. But it could be that you just have somebody that you trust and you just want guidance through this moment. That you just want to better yourself. No different than what we do when we play sports, right? When we play sports, we're like, okay, cool. I want to figure out how to make this shot at this angle. I want to figure out how to do this move. I'm going to go talk to my coach. What's wrong with having a life coach? What's wrong with having someone that's helping you transition, that's been in the spot that you've been in before?
But see, and to your point, that's why. So in the summertime, you know, New York City basketball is huge. Summertime basketball is huge. So I run with a crew called ADC, a different club. That's like those are my bros. We've been playing together for years. I've been playing with them all through, basically since my first year in the D League. I've been playing with them, and now it's at a point where we got the younger bros coming up. They're coming through college and they play with us in the summer. And I tell them all the time, yo, listen, make basketball a choice. Go to class, get your degree. You know what I mean? If you're not in class or you come home and you're ineligible to play the next year or whatever, or if you're supposed to graduate and you don't graduate because of your grades, you're not playing with us in the summer.
You can't play.
You can't play. And they look at me crazy, but I tell them, like, yo, as your older bro, I'm never going to do a disservice to you and allow you to hurt yourself while I'm standing around. I'm not doing that.
Doesn't make sense.
So we teach them, you know, and they teach us as well. But we teach them, like, yo, go, if you want to do fashion, go try it out. If you're not into basketball. Yeah. Like, and there's a lot of people in our crew where they once was playing on the team, but they decided to move on to do something else, but they still around us because we're family. You know what I'm saying? Like, we stick together and we all come, you know, and basketball brings us back together, but we all preach, and all of us, I mean, literally, basically all of us are doing something outside of basketball, whether it's in college, you're in college going to school, or whether you're playing and you got a company, training company on the side, like whatever. We're all doing something bigger than basketball. And that's important. That is the most important thing to teach these kids and anybody under you. If you're not doing that, then you're not, to me,
you're doing them a disservice. You're exactly. You're hurting the community. You're hurting the youth. You're hurting the next generation. That's You
know what I mean? So it's one of those things, man. We gotta, you know, as a culture, basketball culture, you know, sports culture, you know, urban hood culture, whatever you want to call it. We gotta be better at that. We gotta teach these kids, like, yo, it's okay not to be the athlete. Like, it's dope to be the neuroscientist. It's dope to know. It's dope to be the dude that made that jacket you got on. You know what I'm saying? It's dope to be. It's dope to be in different rooms besides the locker room. You know what I'm saying?
But I think a big piece of that is exposure. You know what I mean? It's having exposure and being able to know that you can be a neuroscience, right? It's easy for us to know or think that we can go play basketball at the highest level because there's people that look like us that we know that we have visibility or exposure to that's actually doing it. So it's easy for me to say, hey, look, I came in as a freshman and I saw Zay do this. Well, then it can be done. You know, and I think that's why a lot of times, like, we need to collectively put that confidence and embrace people and their differences. But differences doesn't have to be a bad thing. Differences could just be a strength. And it could just be something that you're working on or something that you're just passionate about, right? Like, I'm not cooler than anybody because I played basketball. That doesn't make me cooler or better. It's just a hobby of mine and the skill set that I had and the drive that was within me. And you know what I'm saying? And that was a commonality that you and I had. But then as we grew older and as we learned a lot about ourselves, we started to venture into other communities and other groups and find different common factors with those groups and common factors with ourselves as we grow. So I say that to say, you know, someone that wants to be more involved in Zayday, someone that wants to be more involved in the community in New York, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, you could reach out on my Instagram, StayFocused20 at StayFocused20. My Twitter is focused_20. You can email me, zaywilkerson@gmail.com. And for the people that watch this and, you know, that know me, they know I'm not hard to reach. They got my phone number, my personal number. They know, you know, if they want to get involved with Zayday, if they have an idea, if they have something that anything. It could be anything. You want to teach the girls how to paint nails, whatever. Like it could be anything that could add to the day in a positive way. Me and my staff is all for it. Like we don't, we try to make the entire day free for anybody attending. We try to make the day where it's just really about the kids, you know what I'm saying? So we reach me wherever, those three things I said. My email, zaywilkerson@gmail.com. My Instagram @stayfocused20, and my Twitter, focused_20, but focused with an ED. So, if you want to, anybody, you know what I'm saying, Nige, anybody, I don't care who you are. You want to come help, more than likely to help. You want to come help clean up the park, all that, because this year we're going to do that too. We're going to do a park cleanup before we set up for Z-Day, because, sometimes we need the park to be, we always need the park to be clean, but we got to show the kids like, yo, we got to take care of our community. We got to make sure that, out here is clean. We got to make sure we ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So
I love it, bro. As you can see, man, Zay is an incredible leader. He's leading the way. He's done some amazing things, but it's safe to say that there's a lot of ink left in the pen. And Zay is still writing his story. So, Zay, I appreciate you, bro. Definitely appreciate what you're doing with Zay Day and how you impact the community. And I hope that, 1, 2, 10, hundreds, thousands of lives can be touched by your story, because I know you changed my life. I've been able to interact with you, been able to learn from you, and been able to call you my brother.
No, vice versa, bro. I want to give you your flowers real quick. When you first got there, you challenged me, but you stepped to me, you told me like, yo, I'm gonna challenge you in a healthy way. I'm gonna challenge you. And for somebody that was younger than me, and you got the freshman, senior, the freshman out of, just graduated. I ain't gotta listen to the freshman. For somebody to challenge me and me listen, like pep up and like, all right, yeah, like it created a different level of respect from me to you always. You know what I'm saying? And to see you grow into the man you become through all the maturing you had to do, even me, like all our maturing, all the things we've been through, the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing to watch. It's an amazing thing to see the industries you tapping into. And it's an amazing thing to see how you're able to not only affect your peoples, but affect the community that you probably don't know you're touching right now. You know what I'm saying? A young, strong black man showing that they could be a stand-up gentleman to whomever, to accept different cultures and things like that. You one of them ones, bro. And I just want to let you know that. You know what I'm saying? And like I always told you, I'm always one phone call away, only one text away, no matter what. I don't care if we don't talk for 10 years because we're all over the place. You got my number, and my number don't change. You know that.
That's right.
You're my brother for life, and I love you, and I appreciate that.
Love you, bro.